Your dog is staring at you right now while you eat, and you have no idea how many things on your plate could send him to the emergency vet tonight. This video covers every dangerous food your dog should never eat, what each one does inside their body, why some of them are deadly even in tiny amounts, and the warning signs you need to watch for before it's too late. Most people think they already know this stuff. They've heard no chocolate, no grapes, but the reality is a lot worse than that. There are common household foods, things sitting in your kitchen right now, that can cause kidney failure, internal bleeding, and seizures in your dog, and most owners have no idea. We're going to go through the most dangerous ones, explain exactly what happens when a dog eats them, and give you the warning signs for each one so you know when to act fast. Let's start with one that shocks almost everyone: xylitol. You've probably never thought about this one, but xylitol is one of the most acutely toxic substances a dog can consume, and it's hiding in products you use every single day. Xylitol is an artificial sweetener. It shows up in sugar-free gum, peanut butter, baked goods, toothpaste, mouthwash, and even some vitamins. For humans, it's completely harmless. For dogs, it triggers a massive insulin release. Their blood sugar crashes hard and fast, and if the dose is high enough, it causes liver failure. We're not talking about a large amount either. A few pieces of sugar-free gum can be enough to kill a small dog. The warning signs come on quickly: weakness, vomiting, loss of coordination, and seizures. If you see any of those after your dog got into something sweet, don't wait. Call your vet immediately. The reason xylitol is so dangerous is that it's invisible. You're not feeding your dog candy on purpose. But maybe you let him lick your fingers after brushing your teeth. Maybe he got into a bag of sugar-free gum you left on the counter. That's all it takes. That's already terrifying. But there's another food that's even more common, and most people still share it with their dogs without thinking twice: grapes and raisins. Here's what makes these so dangerous. Nobody knows exactly why they're toxic. Scientists have studied it for years and still can't pinpoint the exact compound. What they do know is that grapes and raisins cause acute kidney failure in dogs, and the amount it takes varies wildly from dog to dog. Some dogs eat a handful of grapes and seem completely fine. Others go into kidney failure after just 2 or 3. There's no safe dose. There's no way to predict how your dog will react. The warning signs show up within 24 hours: vomiting, lethargy, loss of appetite, and then, critically, very little to no urination. That last one means the kidneys are shutting down. This also applies to raisins, which are even more concentrated. Any baked goods with raisins, trail mix, cookies, cereal bars are completely off limits. Grapes sitting on a low table, a fruit bowl on the counter, kids dropping them on the floor. These are all real risks. Now here's where it gets broader, because it's not just grapes. There's an entire category of foods that attack your dog's blood cells, and most of them are things you cook with every single day. Garlic, onions, leeks, and chives. All of them belong to the oleum family. All of them are toxic to dogs. Here's what they do. They contain compounds called thiosulfates and organosulfides. Dogs can't process these. Instead, the compounds build up in the bloodstream and start destroying red blood cells. The result is hemolytic anemia. Basically, your dog's body is breaking down its own blood. The scary part is the delay. Symptoms don't always show up right away. It can take several days before you notice anything wrong, and by then, the damage is already done. Signs include pale gums, extreme fatigue, rapid breathing, and dark-colored urine. Now here's the thing most people miss. You're probably not feeding your dog raw garlic. But garlic powder, onion powder, and seasoning blends are in almost everything: sauces, soups, gravies, seasoned meats. Every time you share a piece of your dinner, you might be giving your dog a slow, cumulative dose of something that's destroying his red blood cells. Cooked food with garlic or onion in it is still toxic. Cooking doesn't neutralize it. That's important, but there's another food in almost every kitchen that works completely differently, and it's one of the most beloved treats people give their dogs: chocolate. You've probably heard this one, but do you know why it's dangerous and how dangerous it actually is? Chocolate contains 2 compounds that dogs cannot metabolize: theobromine and caffeine. In humans, these get broken down and cleared from the body quickly. In dogs, they build up. The heart rate spikes. The nervous system gets overstimulated. In serious cases, this leads to muscle tremors, seizures, internal bleeding, and cardiac arrest. The severity depends on the type of chocolate and the size of the dog. Dark chocolate and baking chocolate are the most dangerous. They have the highest theobromine content. Milk chocolate is less concentrated, but still toxic in large amounts. White chocolate has very little theobromine, but it's still high in fat and sugar, which causes its own problems. A small dog eating a few squares of dark chocolate is a genuine emergency. Signs include vomiting, diarrhea, restlessness, excessive urination, muscle rigidity, and seizures. The reason this keeps happening is simple. Dogs love the smell of chocolate. They will find it, they will eat it, and they won't stop at one piece. Keep it out of reach. Not just on a high shelf, actually out of reach. Dogs are creative when they want something. Speaking of things dogs will eat without hesitation, let's talk about cooked bones. This one surprises people because bones feel natural for dogs. Raw bones can actually be okay in certain situations, but cooked bones are a different story entirely. When bones are cooked, they dry out and become brittle. Instead of bending or wearing down when a dog chews them, they splinter. Those splinters are sharp. They can lacerate the mouth, get lodged in the throat, puncture the stomach lining, or perforate the intestines. An intestinal perforation is a surgical emergency. It can be fatal. The warning signs of an internal injury from a bone splinter include sudden lethargy, bloating, bloody stool, vomiting, and a dog that won't let you touch their abdomen. Chicken bones are especially dangerous because they're small and splinter easily. Rib bones, pork chop bones, any leftover bone from a cooked meal, keep them away from your dog and put them directly in a sealed trash can. That's important, but if you're someone who gives your dog table scraps in general, there's something else you need to hear. Fat trimmings and bacon. Dogs love fat. It smells incredible to them. But high-fat foods, especially in large amounts, cause pancreatitis. The pancreas is the organ that produces digestive enzymes. When it gets inflamed, those enzymes start digesting the pancreas itself. It's extremely painful, requires serious veterinary treatment, and in severe cases, it can be fatal. Bacon is particularly bad because it combines high fat with high salt. Salt poisoning in dogs is real. The lethal dose is surprisingly small, around 4 grams per kilogram of body weight. Symptoms include extreme thirst, vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, fever, and seizures. Fat trimmings from any meat, raw or cooked, carry the same pancreatitis risk. Don't feed them to your dog, not even occasionally. Now, before we go further, if this video is helping you understand what's actually dangerous for your dog, hit that subscribe button. We cover topics like this regularly: pet health, animal behavior, things every owner should know but most never get told. And drop a comment below telling us which of these surprised you the most. It genuinely helps us know what to cover next. Let's keep going, because there are a few more that don't get talked about enough. Macadamia nuts. The exact mechanism here is still being studied, but what we know is this: macadamia nuts cause a very specific reaction in dogs that includes weakness in the hind legs, tremors, vomiting, fever, and in some cases, a temporary paralysis. It doesn't take much. Even a small handful can trigger these symptoms within 12 hours. The good news is that most dogs recover with treatment, but it's painful, it's scary, and it's completely avoidable. Yeast dough is another one that catches people off guard. Raw bread dough contains live yeast. When a dog eats it, the warm environment of their stomach causes the dough to keep rising. This causes bloating, which in large dogs can become life-threatening on its own. But it gets worse. As the yeast ferments, it produces ethanol. That ethanol gets absorbed into the bloodstream. Your dog can develop alcohol poisoning from eating raw dough. Signs include bloating, extreme discomfort, staggering, disorientation, and difficulty breathing. And while we're on alcohol, even small amounts are dangerous for dogs. Their livers can't process it the way ours can. A few tablespoons can cause serious problems. Keep alcoholic drinks, mouthwash, and any fermented products well away from them. One more that belongs on this list: caffeine. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, some sodas. Caffeine in dogs causes the same kind of overstimulation as theobromine. Heart rate spikes, blood pressure rises, the nervous system goes into overdrive. In high enough amounts, it causes seizures and lung failure. A few sips of coffee left in a mug on the table is enough to cause symptoms in a small dog. Don't leave half-finished drinks where your dog can reach them. Here's the big picture takeaway from all of this. Your dog trusts you completely. He doesn't know what's safe. He just knows he wants whatever you have. And because dogs don't stop eating when they've had enough, especially when something smells good, a single moment of sharing the wrong thing can turn into a crisis. The most dangerous foods are xylitol, grapes and raisins, alliums like garlic and onion, chocolate and cooked bones. Those are the ones most likely to cause serious or fatal outcomes. But pancreatitis from fat and bacon, alcohol poisoning from yeast dough, and kidney damage from caffeine are all real risks too. The rule is simple. If it's not made for dogs, ask before you share it. When in doubt, give him a dog treat and let him think he won. If you want to keep going, the next video covers the safest human foods you actually can share with your dog, the ones that are genuinely good for them. That one's worth watching back to back with this one. Stay informed. Your dog is counting on you.